Vogel State Park. We love this park. This is our second time here since we've got the new camper.
Yeah.
Came once back in May and decided to come back again first week of December. And we're here for 8 days. Didn't realize it, but we're getting to check out the cold weather capabilities of the camper. We woke up to snow the first morning.
It was amazing.
21 degrees overnight, and we've got 3 days of sub-freezing temperatures. Camper's done great so far, but one of the great things about this park is you're so close to Helen, Cleveland, Georgia, Dahlonega, a lot of great places to go out to, lots of great hiking. So definitely you need to come check out Vogel State Park.
And motorcycling.
And motorcycling. If you ride bikes, great roads up here for riding motorcycles.
You're right on the verge of Wolfpen Gap, which is amazing.
And Richard B. Russell. Great roads for motorcycles.
Yes.
Check them out. Right. Helen, Georgia. We'll give you a brief tour, and Lisa's going to tell you a very interesting fact about Helen.
So Helen used to be, hang on, I can do this.
You can do this.
Helen used to be an asbestos mining town. And when they discovered that it was, you know, a disastrous material.
Not good for you.
They sort of regrouped and said, okay, what do we do with our town now? And men who had come back from World War II suggested that they use the architecture of Bavarian Germany to create a tourist mecca. And that's exactly what they ended up doing. And so now you have this amazingly unique little town.
And this is what you get. Turn your former asbestos mining town into a little chunk of Bavaria. Bad advice. Let's stay home. No, get an RV. Go places. Yeah, okay. That's what we're doing. Hey!
Hi!
So we're on our way back to the campsite, having gone to Helen for the day. And it seems no matter what we do when we go camping, there's one place we always end up at.
Walmart.
Walmart. Always end up at Walmart. We have been camping now for, I think we've said probably about 20 years together. We each camped separately. Growing up, both of our families camped, so camping's nothing new to us. But ever since our kids were small, we were tent camping, pop-up camping. We had a camper, and now that the kids are gone, out of the house, on their own, we still end up at Walmart whenever we go camping. It never fails. So something else about us. We love camping in the mountains. Some of us love camping at the beach. Oh yeah. But one thing that someone does not do good at is all the twisty-turvy roads in the mountains. So we're switching positions here. We're fixing to get up into the mountains and heading back up to Vogel, and it is very curvy. It's great on a motorcycle. Love it on a motorcycle. Not so much in the truck. So we're switching out here. So let's talk about our camera setup here for a second. We're just getting started in this thing. We're doing everything with the GoPro Hero Session. We really hope to upgrade to a better camera here in the next month or so to help us out.
And help you out.
And help you out. I have no idea what this is looking like. I know when we turn the corner right here, we are probably blacked out in the shadows. So we are now pulling out of the campground. We're going to go check out a spot. We're taking you guys with us. A good friend of mine who I ride motorcycles with. And he and his wife did a thing up here. It's a waterfall tour where there's a map or something. He found it online, and they went and toured a bunch of different waterfalls. And he told me that there is a waterfall here at Vogel State Park. You could walk. There's a walking trail to the back side of the lake, and it'll take you to that waterfall. But there's also a waterfall just down the road from us, and he was telling me that we're really close to it. We need to go check it out. So that's where we're off to. We're going to go check out this waterfall and see what it looks like. And we got Mason the Wonder Dog with us for this trek. Going to hopefully wear him out a little bit. All right, well, after about a 2-mile off-road trek down a pretty well-maintained road, state road, it's hard-packed gravel, we are at Heiton Creek Falls. Literally, what, 5 miles from the campground? 6 miles from the campground? So we're about to walk over to it. So that was Heiton Creek Falls, just outside of Vogel State Park near Blairsville, Georgia. Definitely worth driving to go see.
Beautiful.
Beautiful falls. I had no idea that was here. Definitely you want to have hiking boots. The hike itself is pretty easy, but there are some creeks that run down the trail that you're walking on, so it stays muddy. We have our tennis shoes, so we had to tiptoe around the edges of it, and there are some very slick spots.
And you're gonna sink into the mud, so if you're looking for a flat place to stand.
Definitely wear hiking boots, but I would definitely put that on my must go see whenever you're in North Georgia camping at Vogel State Park. Let's talk about dump tanks for a second. You may be familiar with using dump tanks or totes or honey pots. They've got different names. I've heard a lot of different names. Off the top of my head, that's all I can think of. But if you find yourself dry camping or boondocking, or in our case, which we love to camp in state parks, you don't have typically a place to dump your sewage or a sewage hookup at your RV site. If that is the case, your two options are pretty much you run off of your holding tanks, and when they get full, you have to tear down camp and go to wherever the dump station is to dump your tanks. There are some places, I've never been to one, but I've heard there are some places that will let you run your gray water off onto a hose out away from the camper. I have personally never been to a place like that. I don't know how that would be, because I can imagine, even though it's gray water, it's your shower water and sink water. I can tell you from dumping my gray water, it does smell. This is where a tote or honey pot comes in handy, because as I'm going to demonstrate and show, it's fairly easy. It takes a couple times to get used to it, to dump your gray water or your black water into the tote, hook it up behind the truck, drive to wherever your dump station is, and you can dump your gray and black water, keeping you from having to tear down camp and pull your camper to wherever your dump station is. It is convenient. It's a little bit of a hassle, but it's a whole lot less hassle than tearing down camp, that's for sure. There can be issues with some of the tanks, and I'm going to talk about that. All right, so dump tanks, I would say definitely something to look into if you plan on boondocking or utilizing state parks. State parks are a great resource. You can get in usually fairly simple in the late fall, early spring. They can be a little trickier to get into in the summertime. They tend to book up fast. So plan ahead if you plan to utilize a state park. But we've used state parks in a number of different states now, and they all seem to be fairly well maintained. Most of them are going to be gravel or dirt pads. They're going to be electric and water only. There are some exceptions we've seen. We haven't camped at one, but we have seen some exceptions that do have sewage hookups. So get out there and enjoy. This is the Camco Rhino 36-gallon dump tank. I have enjoyed this tank. It's been a great tank. It is heavy duty. This is the big one. This is the 36-gallon. Because my holding tanks are big, I went with the bigger tank. They do make a 15, I believe, 15-gallon, 21, 28, and then the 36. What I wanted to share in this video is if you buy one of these tanks. I read this in a review, and it is true. The wheels are not assembled. They're not on the tank when you get it. You have to put the wheel on, and I don't know if you can see it. There's just this little button cap that you pop with a hammer on each side that holds the wheel on. Well, somebody had mentioned that little cap does not hold on tight. They were correct. The very first time I carried this tank to go dump the gray water, I got there, and when I lifted the tank off the back of the truck, the wheel fell off. I got fortunate that it didn't fall off while I was hauling the tank, or I could have drugged this thing and worn a hole right through it. So when I get home, I'm going to do a modification on this, and I'll show y'all the modification that I read about in some of the reviews, where they drill a hole through the axle or the shaft and put a cotter pin in there. So just wanted to share that, because what I read in the review happened to me, and I would imagine because of this design, it would happen to you too if you buy one of these. But that aside, great tank. I am loving this tank so far. taking a walk to the waterfalls here at Vogel State Park. But one of the things I wanted to show you, because it is winter time and these things are not open, but I did want to show you that if you come here in the spring, summer, and through some part in the fall, some of the activities they have here at the lake. So it may be kind of hard to see from this camera, but there's a boat house, but they do have boat rentals. I believe they've got pontoon paddle boat rentals. There is a really nice pavilion over the lake, and on the other side of that pavilion you could probably see the white markers. There's a little beach swimming area. And as cold as it is here in December, somebody is snorkeling through the swimming area. So, interesting thing happened to us. So last night we were hanging out in the back of our camper in the toy hauler area, waiting for our daughter to show up. She lives in Greenville, South Carolina, and was driving in, was gonna come spend the rest of the weekend with us. It's about a 2 hour 15-minute drive, and she left when she got off work last night and got about 30 minutes away from us, and Lisa got a phone call. And Emily was in tears. You could tell something had happened, and she hit a deer. So North Georgia at night, deer are everywhere.
Thankfully, Emily was perfectly fine. Shaken up, but fine.
So we ended up jumping in the truck at what time? 9:30?
8:45.
8:45
p.m.
And headed out last night to go
across Blood Mountain.
Yeah, across Blood Mountain. If you're familiar with North Georgia, it's a very twisty road.
Woo.
And we had to go down it at night, and we were going down it quickly.
On 2 wheels.
Yeah. On the way down, we did get a text from Emily that a sheriff's deputy had stopped and was sitting with her, waiting for us to get there.
Thank you, Mr. Sheriff's Deputy, from the bottom of our hearts.
And we got there, checked the car out, and you can see that the car's got some fender damage to it. Deer left part of itself attached to the tire. Yeah, not good. And but the car was still drivable. I was able to get in the car. I had to move some of the body parts around of the car to make it move without scraping. But we were able to get everybody back here, and you can see behind us probably her car and my truck. But made it back here. She's got a little damage to the car. Good warning. Yeah, driving around anywhere it's wooded in the evening, deer are going to be out. Got to watch for them. In fact,
hey guys, thank you so much for coming along on this journey with us. We're excited to have you. We're excited about the future and what these videos mean for us and our RV adventures. If you like what you see,
hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to ring the bell and you'll be notified when we drop more videos.
Yep, and if you like what you see, please share. Share with friends who are interested in RVing or who may have made some boneheaded mistakes like us and want to avoid those things. I'm sure there will be more of those in the future, but we would love to take you along with us as we go.
Absolutely. And as we're starting this journey, feel free to comment and let us know what you would like to see. If there's any specific location or any RV questions you have, we will try to answer those in future videos.
Yeah, we would love to hear about your experiences. Have you been to Vogel? Have you been to any of the places that we've shared so far? What about toilet burping? Where are you on toilet burping?
Eek. Hit that subscribe button. Thanks, everybody.
waiting for tomorrow? Adventure starts now.